Welcome back. Let's go back to our childhood and think about primary school for a moment. I'm talking about the time when we were 6 or 7 years old. The question here is, what was the first thing they taught us at primary school? First thing they taught us was writing and reading, right? Why it wasn't listening and speaking? Of course, listening and speaking were the core abilities that we were accepted to a primary school. And we all know that none of us teach our children how to pronounce vowels, consonants, and words like the lessons we get in a language learning school. But how did we learn to speak and to understand what we hear when we were a child? In my opinion, one of the reasons is that we hear words many times. Maybe this is not the only reason, but in my opinion, it is one of them. But children are much more sensitive to the world than adults. That's why they learn a language easier and stronger. There should be a reason behind this. When we hear the sound of a word many times, we will have enough sound information in our memory, and then our brain will send the right command to our speaking organs how to produce that sound. Make sense? The things that I am talking about here, about our brain, our memory, these are may not be exact science. What I am trying to say is that we need to get sound information about words in order to pronounce words. Did you think about this? Sometimes we pronounce a word wrong and somebody else tells us the correct spelling. Maybe we can't pronounce that word correctly after hearing it once, but in most cases, we will be able to pronounce that word correctly after 3 or 5 times we hear that word. And we are doing this just by hearing. And we all English learners know that our least developed language learning experiences are listening and speaking. Is that right? Why is that? Because we are not using our right senses to develop our right skill. To improve our speaking and listening skills, we need to listen words many times. When we try to improve our listening by reading text, it is not going to work. We should hear sounds of words by our ears many times. Doing so, we are training our ears. The next time we hear the sound of a word, we are not going to wait until the full pronunciation of that word to understand it. Sometimes we feel the need of a little bit of time just after the full pronunciation of a word to clearly identify that word. Why this happens is that our brain trying to match the sound we heard with an existing sound information in our memory. But we didn't put that sound information in our memory. In most cases, we will be expecting the pronunciation of a word just like we saw that word on a paper. In this course, we are going to use some digital tools to improve our listening experience, and as a result of listening, we are also going to improve our speaking skills. We are going to use movies. If you feel that listening a movie is an advanced stuff for you, you can use video files or audio files at your level. See you next video.